Hi friends, for today's video, we're going to be looking at a shorter game in my library. Sometimes you want a game with a lot of depth, or a game with a lot of replayability, something that makes you feel like you got your money's worth. And then sometimes you just want a game that you can complete in 1 to 2 gaming sessions, so you can add it to your completed folder, decreasing your incredibly huge unplayed games library by 1. So I'll ask the question, what is AER? Memories of Old. You take the role of Auk, a whisperer who has made a pact with an animal spirit, giving you the power of flight. You are embarking upon a pilgrimage your mentor sent you on to pray to Kara. During your prayers, you receive a Kara's lantern, which allows you to glimpse people from the past, letting you learn more about the world you are in. You are following in the footsteps, perhaps wing flights, of Kara, visiting temples and talking to spirits, and eventually tasked with a mighty quest. AER Memories of Old was developed by Forgotten Keys and published by Daedalic Entertainment. Forgotten Keys shut down in 2019 after an 8-year run, though it seems AER is now being run through On the Outskirts, a new studio from the former team members of Forgotten Key. AER was published in 2017 on Steam and has since been released on Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and Epic. This game is light and fluffy. When you start to pray, you receive a gift of a lantern. Then the cave starts crumbling around you. Don't worry though, there doesn't seem to be any risk of colliding with the falling rocks. Once through the cavern, you're greeted by 2 shrine keepers and their daughter, who tell you a little bit about the world. Then you get the most important thing, the power of flight. I quickly proceeded to ignore the game and questline and started playing around with flight, and I imagine that you will too. Press A to jump, press A to transform into a bird, presuming you're using a controller, of course. Fly around till your heart is content. Press X to flap your wings and to go faster and be free as a bird. While in bird mode, you can press A to transform back into your human form, though you'll keep all of your momentum that you had, which makes things a little bit awkward when you're trying to land on a small little island. I found the movement in this game to be a little bit odd. When walking, you have an odd moonwalk-esque gait. It was jarring enough that I found myself very quickly jump walking everywhere I had to go. Once I gained flight, I started flight skipping to move a lot faster. Jump, turn into a bird, gain some momentum, and jump back into a human. You move way faster this way. Though, be aware of conservation of momentum and not falling off the floating islands. Once you've had enough of flying, it's on to play the game. Press X in human form to pull out your lantern. This will let you turn these little squares into visions of past humans, giving you hints about what you need to do, and, do normal lantern things like light up the dark tunnels. Follow the directions of your guides, John and Diana. They'll direct you to the temples nearby. You'll need to unlock the temple doors through simple puzzles on nearby islands, like activating a large light condenser or collecting the temple key. Each temple has very light puzzle mechanics to get you to unlock doors or turn swivels and hit switches to progress. Zelda, this isn't. It's more about exploration and the pilgrimage than solving any kind of robust puzzle. The art style is very polygonal. It gives the game a unique feel. It's 1 part retro, 1 part cartoonish, and 1 part indigenous-y? In fact, a lot of the world building and art style reminds me of indigenous artworks and stories from here in Canada. The most jarring part about the art is the characters' faces. The geometric look and the lack of features like eyes, noses, and mouths make everyone feel a little bit doll-like. You don't interact with enough humans to make it too noticeable, fortunately. Once you're in the temples, you lose the ability to turn into a bird. They are really trying to drive home the pilgrimage aspect and taking you through how your people became whisperers. But after learning to fly everywhere to discover the world, being forced to walk and jump was so irritating. After failing a jumping sequence and having to repeat when outside I could just fly, it felt frustrating. It made me feel like this was 2 different games, a bird flight simulator smashed up against a dungeon puzzle explorer. The soundtrack in this game is good, adds to the bright and airy elements of the game. There were some initial eerie notes at the beginning that made me worried that this game was going to have some dark secret reveal, but I think they were just trying for somber rather than eerie. And now, you know what AER Memories of Old is. Let's take a look at the options menu. Gameplay options, you can invert your camera, invert your bird form, you got your sensitivities, and you can turn the compass on and off. In the video, this is not a graphically intense game. You got graphic settings, everything in between 4K and down. VSync, anti-aliasing on or off, and SSAO on or off. You can also adjust your shadow distance. And then audio, full audio sliders for music and effects, and a master volume, which is always nice to have. No way to rebind keys, which is kind of unfortunate. 2021, I keep saying, let's rebind keys, people. Thanks for checking out this video on AER, Memories of Old. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you want to see me review next. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my latest videos. And big ups to all my Patreons. You guys help make this thing possible.